Today I'm going to show you how to get started on your Photoshop hallway or room. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Adobe Photoshop, which looks like the camera for the icon, and I'm going to double click it. Once you double click it, you're going to get to this welcome screen. Our Photoshop version at school has a glitch, so you cannot click create. If you click this purple button create, it's going to be really slow, it's not going to load, and you're going to have to restart your computer. So you're going to click the orange circle that says edit, double click it. If you've never used the program, you're going to have to agree to the license, but most of you have, and you'll only have to do that once and never again. So once you have that, you'll get the loading screen. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up the template that I've chosen to use. So I saved that to my desktop. So I am going to go to my desktop and I'm going to open up the template that I've saved. I'm going to use this one, I think. Okay. And the first thing I want to do is rename it, because you don't want to leave it as template, because everyone in the school is going to have template who's doing this project. So I'm going to say File, Save As, and I'm going to call this Kakuzi Hallway Demo. And I'm going to save this on my OneDrive to my folder for 8th grade art. Okay, so I'm going to say save. You should always save it to your OneDrive and not your desktop, because if something happens to your computer, you'll still be able to access it if it's in your OneDrive. So now what I want to do is I want to fill in a color or a pattern in each one of these walls. So this is just the first step. So on the tools on the side, I'm going to use the tool that looks like a lasso, and it is called the lasso tool. And there's 3 different lassos. There's the regular lasso, the magnetic one, and the polygon. We're going to use the polygon lasso. So I think the regular lasso tool is the default. You're going to right click to get the polygon lasso. Once you get that, that's going to allow you to select a side. Now there's 2 layers in this. Okay, this layer just has the drawing, and this layer has the white behind it. So you want to be clicked on the layer with the drawing. So you want to be on this top layer. And with the polygon lasso tool, all you need to do is click the corners of the shape that you want to fill in. So it doesn't matter how much you go outside of the lines, it just sort of snaps to the shape, which is really nice. And when you're done, you double click. And then you can see from the crawling ants that that side is selected. Then you can go find the pattern or design you want. And you always want to go, you don't want to take it from the smaller thumbnail. You want to go to the site, if you can actually go to the site, or even over here is usually okay. But I'm going to right click and say copy image. And then when I go back here, I could say edit paste, but if I pasted it, it would just paste as, a galaxy square on top of this. What I want is I only want to paste it inside of this wall. So I'm going to say edit, and I'm not going to do paste. I'm going to say paste into section. And that's going to paste this into this section. So even though there's more picture over here and here, it's only going to fill in this area. And it's not big enough right now, so I'm just going to click the move tool. And I'm going to move it bigger until I'm happy with it. When you're happy with it, you can click this little arrow here, the green one. And if you weren't, you could click the red and you could redo it. Now I want to get rid of this selection, so I'm going to say select, deselect. And now I'm ready to do my next wall. So let's say my next wall, I'm going to end up putting French doors on here. Let's say I just wanted this to be a color. So again, I'm going to use the polygon tool, and I'm going to click on the corners. And I just glanced over to make sure that I'm still in the right layer, because once in a while you'll be in the wrong layer and it won't work. So you always want to be in the correct layer. So if I want a solid color, I can go over here to the color picker and I can pick a color that I want. And then I can just use my paint bucket and I can pop it in, okay? If I pick 2 different colors I like, the black, you can click beneath the paint bucket to the gradient tool, and you could do a gradient if you wanted that, okay? Again, if you do something you don't like, you can just say Control Z to go backwards. So I'm going to do one more. So let's say I wanted clouds in the back wall. So I'm going to find a picture of clouds. And usually it would be much pickier, but I just want to sort of do this faster because it's a video for you guys. So I'm going to say copy image, go back here, and edit, paste into section. And then I can go ahead with the move and I can adjust that to make the clouds smaller, sort of play around with them until I'm happy with them, okay? As you work, select, deselect, gets rid of the crawling ants. Don't forget to say File, Save, so you can save what you have as you go. So I'm just gonna save this, so I've got it for my example.